All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rahakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. All right, I've been having a couple of mic issues, Salaki on that, but Lord willing, this is clear and edifying. Just going in on this particular topic. She said Judah, Africa, not named for Judah, tribe of sorry Hebrew Israelites, right? This is another attempt, another attempt by vocab to try to debunk what we're saying. And you had a few brothers comment. You had an excellent video from a brother in Dallas actually go through the history of why it was called Fort Judah by the Portuguese. Basically, in a nutshell, what he was saying was the Portuguese knew who we were, which that lines up with history. The Moors were all through Portugal and Spain. That's why it's called the Iberian Peninsula, right? The Iberia, the land of the Hebrews. Okay, and that's where they get a lot of those forts. That's where they get a lot of those castles. A lot of those were built by the Israelites, all right? And they know that. They know who we are. All right, but go on to this one, because it's just so much, fluff. It's so much stuff, First off, the scriptures say what? Suffer not a woman to teach, and this is why. Because women, they go off of emotions. She probably saw us, dislike, whatever the emotion, that popped up on it was. But women go off of emotions, all right? Now, one of the things that she did, because the scriptures say what? Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Right? And over, again and again, that's what happened. Okay, to this day. That's according to prophecy. All right? It's just so much, because the scriptures say eat the whole roll. You have to include prophecy when you quote the Bible. You just have to. If you take out the prophecy, you take out pretty much the most important part. One of the most important. I mean, it's all important, but again, you have to eat the whole roll. Now she went into how Judah means Wedad, means something else. She's talking to some, which he's probably more than likely he's Jake. She's talking to some guy sitting on his porch, who's supposed to be an expert. But the thing is, Africa, just like, the Southern Kingdom, we were taken out of Africa, whether you were sold by Israelites or you were sold by Hamites, which, you had cases where Israelites did sell Israelites in the slavery, like in the case of Taki, from Taki's rebellions, King Taki from Taki's rebellions. You had cases like that, but then what happens is they'll sell, somebody into slavery, and then they'll get sold into slavery. But then the ones who didn't get sold, they still had to go under the colonization of Esau anyway. All right, so they got the curses too. All right, Esau came through, plucked the resources out the land, beat them, destroyed them, carved the land up, how he wanted it, which is, basically why these maps are what they are, because Esau carves them up and makes them, how he wants them, puts the name on them that he wants to put on them, and that's prophesied in the scriptures. It said what? Hey, Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, right? And in some cases, they call their lands after their own names, and in some cases, they might give it, or maybe we'll name it, and they'll just keep the name, all right? Because that happens too. You got a lot of cities in the U.S. which have Native American names, just like in Florida or in the Southwest, where they do allow that name to be the name of the city. All right, but the most important places, though, no, that's not the case. And the fact, hey, here's an interesting thing, man, with the whole thing that he's saying. He's trying to say that the language means something different in this language and that language. Things have gotten so jumbled up, and that's one of the reasons why we use the King James version of the Bible. King James went back to the Hebrew scrolls. He has scholars translate straight from the pure Hebrew, all right, because like it tells you in the introduction to uh, Ecclesiasticus, aka we say Sirach. It tells you things uttered in the Hebrew have a different power when they go into the heavens, and that's why we strive to pray into the Hebrew and master what we believe is the true Hebrew. All right, the Lashawan Kodash, the holy tongue. But what Jacob do is they'll stumble because words have been translated into dialects, which once again, who's in the details? Esau. Okay, whatever dialect of Latin, Portuguese, Spanish, all of these languages borrow words from each other. They take words, they make up words, and then it becomes confusion. Versus the Hebrew, where that's what the Most High, or the Lashon Kodash, that's what the Most High gave to us directly, all right, straight from the Father. So there's no confusion. All right, and these because they're more than likely, Jake. They appear to have a zeal, and if they are, they once again they don't have the records. They don't have records going back. All right, so if you want to see more of a historical analysis of it, the brother in Dallas, he did an excellent job. But I'm just going off of the spirit, because that's ultimately what we look for. Being the Israelites. The scriptures talk about the Israelites are going to have the Israelites are the salt of the earth. All right, this is Daniel 7:25. This is talking about Esau again. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And we are worn out, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into us, into his hand, until a time and times and the dividing of time. Right. And that's exactly what happened. We were given into his hand. He changed times. He changed laws. Okay. And we know in the scriptures there are many, many laws. Laws about this, laws pertaining to that, laws pertaining to this, so on and so forth. Okay. Not only did he change that, he changed the language too. He changed all of that. Changed the customs. All right. Western culture. So, when you do this kind of stuff and you try to get carnal and you ask one guy if Judah, if Judah and Weda and Fort Judah means the Israelite tribe of Judah, he doesn't know. He's discontinued from his heritage. He doesn't know. And this is Romans 8:16, straight to the point. The Spirit, matter of fact, Romans 8:15. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. Exactly. And when you deal with a lot of Jakes, and I believe Elder Yashawamba was going into sort of the same thing, and I have to agree. When you deal with Jake, we've been humbled, we've been beaten down, broken down because we went off and disobeyed the Most High. Jake has a loser mentality. One of the things you begin to develop, and a lot of brothers already have, but you definitely develop it. You develop a winner's mentality. You develop a royal ruling class mentality. That's not to mean pride, but you begin to understand who you are in the grand scheme of things. This guy doesn't know. There's a guy sitting on this porch, okay? But because he's in Africa, he's in Africa, so he doesn't know. The records were destroyed. They were put under colonizers. They were beaten too. They're still, they still got a lot of violence and killing and destruction going on too, from Ham, from Moab, and from Esau. All right. Again, it said what? The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. There you go. The Spirit itself beareth witness. Meaning what? You observe somebody, the things that the way they do things, how they talk, how they look, how they stand, everything. All things that brothers check and look for to see who's an Israelite and who's not. All right, and if even your skin color, because you have many Israelites who aren't necessarily brown. You might have a lighter. You might be a light tan, or you might even be red, kind of like Esau. And your spirit can still bear witness that you're an Israelite. All right, but you can't. And like the elders say, you can't fake Jake. You cannot fake Jake. All right, and this is just a quick story too. All right, because this whole thing, whenever we go down, whenever we get captured in captivity, if the records get destroyed of who's an Israelite, whose family owns what, who's to receive what inheritance where, and who's with this and that, every time it happens, what happens? The rebuilding process occurs, and the priests have to use the spirit, and the Lord has to be working with them, of course, for them to use discernment and to understand, how things are supposed to be done. And that's all through the Old Testament when we're going through these different captivities. All right, this says what? Numbers 36:1. The chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses and before the princes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel. And they said, the Lord commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel, and my Lord was commanded by the Lord to give the inheritance of Zelophehad our brother unto his daughters. And if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of Israel, children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance. Right. And what? Wait a minute. Let me go back. Salaki. I jumped ahead. Salaki. Okay, here we go. Numbers 26 and 33. All right. And this just shows you how they judge the situation, judge the matter. Again, according to the Spirit, we don't have the Urim and the Thummim. We don't have all that stuff, but you have the Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to guide you. It says what? Numbers 26:33. And Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, had no sons, but daughters. And the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Malah and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the families of Manasseh, and those that were number of them, 50 and 2,700. These are the sons of Ephraim. Let's see, I'm going to skip down, jump down, straight to the point. It said, unto these the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of names. To many thou shalt give the more inheritance, to a few thou shalt give the less inheritance. To every one shall his inheritance be given according to those that were number of him. What is that? Okay, here we go. Okay, then the daughters of Zelophehad, his daughters came forth, and they stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest, and before the princes and all the congregation by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no sons. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family, because he hath no son? Give unto us therefore a possession among the brethren of our father. And Moses brought their cause before the Lord. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, the daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren, and thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them. Right. And so in that particular case, like you said, their father died, and it was just daughters, so they had to take that matter to Moses. He had to take it to the Lord, and he received the answer. Well, in these days, the Lord has his Spirit upon us, from the elders and the apostles on down, for us to understand, these spiritual things of who we are, and the ultimate inheritance that's coming, which is the kingdom. All right. So why isn't vocab talking about the kingdom? Why isn't he talking about prophecy? Why isn't he talking about the things to come? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you gotta be able to see the angles, man. Satan's devices. All right. And here's the interesting way that she suffered not a woman to teach. Here's the interesting way that she ended her lesson. Check this out.
I didn't have to go give you a slew of different things for you to see. The truth of the matter is, all they did was change the word. It was just their version of Wida, Ayuda. Stay Christian, stay black, stay woke.
And then, right, rolls her eyes at the end. Stay Christian, stay black, stay woke. But who gave you the title black? All right, and the Christians were what? Israelites who were called Christians at Antioch. And that you want to know who the Israelites are? We can go to, it's a whole cluster, a whole hundreds of videos on who Israelites are, the possessions, the inheritance, all of that. All right, and who's really woke, man? Who's really woke? Who really knows the real history? And another thing the scriptures say, you're supposed to declare the gospel, the full gospel. All right, not just try to go and pick apart at which if it's going off, it's going off. But they're trying to come to the doctrine which has been declared and just kind of pick it off piece by piece, but they don't have the answers. You can't do that. Hey, call hello, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Lord willing is edifying. Hey, brothers, be blessed out there. Hey, continue to fight, continue to push to the end. Shalom.